After all, someone this significant must have been buried with some real pomp and circumstance. So I just have one question. Where's Moses?
And here we have the tomb.
The tomb of Moses?
Yes, here. Up, please.
Wow. So this is the burial?
Yeah.
For centuries, the search for Moses' tomb has been one of the most thrilling mysteries in history, sparking curiosity, debate, and even friendly rivalry among archaeologists and historians. As a central figure in Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, Moses' legacy is undeniable, but his final resting place remains unknown, shrouded in biblical mystery. Why has his tomb never been found? Could there be a deeper reason behind its secrecy? In this video, we'll dive into the ancient clues, theories, and historical evidence that might finally unlock this enduring enigma. Stay with us as we uncover the truth. This is Jesus' eternal aura.
Okay, if there is a historical Moses, where is this guy? I mean, where was he buried?
According to the biblical tradition, he ended on the other side of it.
A recent claim by renowned explorer Josh Gates has sent shockwaves across the world, igniting intense discussions among scholars, historians, and religious communities. Gates asserts that he has discovered the long-lost tomb of Moses, hidden beneath an artificial stone structure. This revelation has sparked both excitement and skepticism, with many eager to learn more about this extraordinary find. However, the intrigue does not end with the discovery of the tomb itself. Gates's account of what he encountered inside is nothing short of chilling, leaving many to question the implications of this finding for their faith, historical understanding, and the broader narrative of Moses' final resting place. The details of Gates's discovery and the unsettling sight he witnessed within the tomb are sure to leave you astounded. Prepare to have your understanding of history, religion, and archaeology challenged as we delve deeper into this remarkable tale. If you are fascinated by religious mysteries and historical discoveries, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and activate the notification bell to stay informed about the latest updates regarding this captivating story. Moses, revered as the prophet who liberated the Israelites from Egyptian enslavement, undoubtedly merited a grand burial and a monument befitting his extraordinary life. The narrative surrounding his life and the quest to locate his final resting place have captivated and intrigued both scholars and believers alike. Despite the wealth of historical and religious accounts detailing Moses' accomplishments, the precise location of his tomb has remained shrouded in mystery. Intrigued by this enigma, the intrepid explorer Josh Gates embarked on a journey to Mount Nebo, the site traditionally believed to be Moses' final resting place. His expedition sought to unearth the secrets surrounding Moses' burial and possibly provide the world with concrete evidence of where the great prophet was laid to rest. Before we delve into Gates's remarkable discoveries, it is essential to gain a deeper understanding of Moses' life and the reasons behind the enduring fascination with his tomb. Join us as we uncover surprising facets of this legendary figure's life and explore the significance of his burial site in the annals of history and faith. Moses holds an esteemed place in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, with his story primarily found in the Hebrew Bible's books of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. His life and actions have reverberated across centuries and cultures, shaping religious thought and historical narratives. Born in Egypt around the late 14th century BCE, during a time of Israelite enslavement, Moses' life began under a death sentence. The Pharaoh, fearing the growing population of the Israelites, had ordered the killing of all newborn Hebrew boys. In a desperate attempt to save her son, Moses' mother placed him in a basket and set it adrift on the Nile. Miraculously, the infant was discovered by the Pharaoh's daughter, who took pity on him and raised him as her own, bestowing upon him the name Moses, meaning drawn out of the water. Growing up as an Egyptian prince, Moses enjoyed the privileges and education of royalty, yet he remained deeply connected to his Hebrew roots. This connection would later define his destiny and mission. At the age of 40, a pivotal event altered the course of his life. Witnessing an Egyptian overseer brutally beating a Hebrew slave, Moses acted impulsively, killing the Egyptian and concealing the body. When the Pharaoh learned of this act, Moses was forced to flee Egypt to evade the death penalty. He sought refuge in Midian, where he encountered Jethro, a priest, and eventually married his daughter Zipporah. For the next 4 decades, Moses lived as a shepherd, tending to Jethro's flocks. However, his life was far from ordinary. One day, while tending sheep on Mount Horeb, also known as Mount Sinai, Moses experienced a divine encounter. He witnessed a burning bush that miraculously remained unconsumed by the flames. From this extraordinary sight, God spoke to Moses, commissioning him to return to Egypt and liberate the Israelites from their oppressive bondage. Empowered by God with extraordinary abilities to convince both the Pharaoh and the Israelites of his divine mission, Moses returned to Egypt. He was accompanied by his brother Aaron, who served as his spokesperson. Together, they petitioned the Pharaoh to release the Israelites. When the Pharaoh refused, God unleashed a series of 10 devastating plagues upon Egypt, demonstrating his power through Moses. These plagues included the turning of the Nile into blood, infestations of frogs and locusts, disease upon livestock, painful boils afflicting the Egyptians, and a storm of hail that pummeled the land. The land was further devastated by locusts, darkness that enveloped the kingdom, and finally, the most devastating plague, the death of the firstborn sons of Egypt. This last plague spared no household, not even the Pharaoh's. To shield their own children from this divine wrath, the Israelites marked their doors with the blood of a sacrificed lamb, a ritual that became the foundation of the Passover tradition. The death of the Pharaoh's son finally compelled him to release the Israelites, initiating the monumental Exodus around 1250 BCE. Under Moses' leadership, the Israelites embarked on a treacherous journey toward the promised land of Canaan. However, the Pharaoh, gripped by regret, pursued them with his army. As the Israelites found themselves cornered between the Red Sea and the advancing Egyptian forces, Moses, guided by God, stretched out his hand over the sea. Miraculously, the waters parted, creating a dry passage for the Israelites to escape. Once they reached safety, the waters surged back, engulfing the Egyptian army and securing the Israelites' freedom. Following their escape, the Israelites traveled to Mount Sinai, where Moses received the 10 Commandments from God. These divine laws, etched onto stone tablets, encompassed fundamental principles such as honoring parents, prohibitions against murder and theft, and the call to worship only one true God. The revelation of the commandments marked a defining moment in the spiritual and moral framework of the Israelite people. Moses continued to lead the Israelites through the wilderness for 40 years, guiding them towards Canaan. However, due to an act of disobedience, God decreed that Moses would not enter the promised land. Instead, he was granted the opportunity to view it from Mount Nebo, where he eventually passed away. His burial site remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of religious history. Josh Gates's recent claim that he has uncovered Moses' tomb has reignited interest in this ancient mystery. If his findings prove to be authentic, they could have profound implications for religious and historical scholarship. What did Gates see inside the tomb that left him so unsettled? Could this discovery finally provide answers to questions that have lingered for millennia? As we continue to explore this unfolding mystery, the world eagerly awaits further revelations. Stay tuned for more updates on this extraordinary discovery that may forever change our understanding of Moses, his final resting place, and the rich history surrounding his legacy.
It's always exciting. Sometimes there is even between the workmen a bit of a competition. Who will find first?
The 10 Commandments stand as the cornerstone of Jewish law and ethics, shaping the moral code of countless generations. Given by God to Moses on Mount Sinai, these divine laws emphasize fundamental principles, such as the rejection of murder, theft, and deceit. However, the Israelites' journey through the desert was prolonged to 40 years due to their repeated acts of disobedience and lack of faith in God. Despite these trials, God remained steadfast in his provision, miraculously sustaining the Israelites with manna, a heavenly food that appeared daily to nourish them. When they suffered from thirst, Moses, following divine instruction, struck a rock, causing water to gush forth. As a leader, mediator, and teacher, Moses played a critical role in guiding his people, resolving conflicts, and imparting God's laws. Beyond his leadership, Moses established the tabernacle, a sacred tent where the Israelites could commune with God. This portable sanctuary served as the spiritual heart of the Israelite encampment, symbolizing God's presence among his people. Despite his unparalleled role in guiding the Israelites and delivering the divine law, the conclusion of Moses' life remains shrouded in mystery. According to the Bible, Moses was granted a final glimpse of the promised land from the heights of Mount Nebo, but was forbidden from entering due to a past transgression. After his death in Moab, his burial site was concealed, a decision made by God himself, leaving his final resting place unknown. For centuries, the mystery of Moses' burial site has captivated scholars, theologians, and adventurers alike. Among those intrigued by this enigma is Josh Gates, a seasoned explorer and television personality. Gates embarked on an expedition to Mount Nebo, the traditional site associated with Moses' final days. Located in modern-day Jordan, Mount Nebo offers a breathtaking vista of the surrounding landscape, reinforcing the biblical narrative of Moses viewing the Promised Land from its peak. However, definitive archaeological evidence confirming Moses' burial at this location remains elusive. Despite this, Mount Nebo holds immense historical and religious significance, standing as a testament to faith's enduring power and the profound impact of Moses' leadership. Gates's expedition aimed to unravel the mysteries surrounding this sacred site, seeking to unearth clues or artifacts that might illuminate the final chapter of Moses' life. Yet, the search for Moses' tomb transcends mere archaeology. It is a journey of profound spiritual significance. Moses' life is a testament to faith, courage, and unwavering devotion to God, and the mystery of his burial adds another layer of intrigue to his already remarkable legacy. This enigma serves as a reminder of history's hidden depths and the power of faith to transcend time and place. As explorers like Josh Gates continue their quest for answers, the story of Moses remains as vibrant and relevant as ever, inspiring generations to embrace the values he embodied: faith, leadership, and perseverance. After leading the Israelites through the harsh desert for 40 years, Moses ascended the windswept heights of Mount Nebo. From this vantage point, God granted him a final, breathtaking vision of the Promised Land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Yet, due to his transgression at the waters of Meribah, where he struck a rock instead of speaking to it to bring forth water as commanded, he was denied entry into this long-awaited land. The Bible recounts that he died on Mount Nebo, with God himself burying his body in an undisclosed location. This event, estimated to have occurred around 1271 BC, marked the end of an era and the beginning of an enduring enigma. Although Mount Nebo has traditionally been regarded as Moses' final resting place, recent discoveries by Josh Gates have cast doubt on this long-held belief. Clues derived from ancient texts and local lore suggest an alternative location, one closely tied to the Sea of Galilee. This body of water holds immense historical and religious significance, making it a compelling site for further investigation. In early 2018, Gates and his team embarked on an ambitious expedition to unravel this age-old mystery. Armed with historical documents, detailed maps, and state-of-the-art technology, they set out to explore submerged sites near the Sea of Galilee, hoping to uncover artifacts or structures linked to the enigmatic prophet. The expedition's arsenal of technology was as impressive as their determination. Satellite imagery allowed them to identify terrain features aligning with descriptions found in ancient texts, while mapping software enabled the creation of precise underwater maps. Ground-penetrating radar, GPR, proved invaluable in detecting potential archaeological sites beneath the lakebed without disturbing them. Drones provided aerial surveys, and 3D scanning technology enhanced their ability to visualize submerged structures. Each piece of equipment played a crucial role in the meticulous search for hidden chambers or structures that could provide insight into Moses' final resting place. Although the team has not yet uncovered definitive proof of Moses' tomb, their expeditions have yielded new insights and possibilities. Their careful and methodical approach underscores the ongoing quest to solve one of history's most intriguing puzzles. This relentless search, blending ancient mystery with modern technology, continues to captivate the world. In October 2018, Gates and his team took their investigation beneath the waves of the Sea of Galilee. Utilizing advanced side-scan sonar and multi-beam sonar technology, they meticulously mapped the lakebed, searching for unusual formations that could indicate the presence of ancient structures. Their painstaking efforts soon bore fruit when they discovered a submerged circular stone monument, a dolmen constructed from massive basalt rocks. This awe-inspiring structure, measuring a staggering 230 feet in diameter and towering 32 feet in height, held immense potential for unlocking the secrets of the past. Dolmens, often associated with ancient burial practices, have been found across the region, suggesting that this newly discovered site may have had ritualistic or funerary significance in antiquity. While the search for Moses' tomb remains unresolved, each new discovery adds another piece to the puzzle. The quest is not merely about finding a grave, but about uncovering the layers of history and faith that continue to shape religious and cultural traditions. The mystery of Moses' final resting place remains one of the most compelling enigmas of the ancient world, inspiring scholars, archaeologists, and explorers to continue their pursuit of truth. Whether buried beneath the heights of Mount Nebo, hidden in the depths of the Sea of Galilee, or resting in an as-yet undiscovered location, Moses' legacy endures. His story, filled with faith, courage, and divine purpose, continues to resonate across millennia, a testament to the enduring power of belief and the relentless pursuit of knowledge.
Whether Moses is legend or fact, he is a towering figure in all Abrahamic religions.
Beneath the tranquil waves of the Sea of Galilee, an ambitious expedition set out to uncover hidden mysteries lurking beneath its depths. Utilizing cutting-edge side-scan sonar and multi-beam sonar technology, a team of researchers meticulously mapped the lakebed, scanning for any unusual formations that might provide insight into the region's ancient past. Their unwavering dedication and exhaustive efforts were soon rewarded when they made an astonishing discovery: a massive, submerged, circular stone monument. This structure, a dolmen composed of enormous basalt rocks, was a testament to ancient ingenuity and craftsmanship. Measuring an impressive 230 feet in diameter and soaring 32 feet in height, the dolmen stood as a silent witness to history, its origins and purpose shrouded in mystery. Given that dolmens are often associated with burial practices in ancient cultures, this remarkable find carried immense potential for unlocking secrets of the past. The discovery sparked intense excitement among the research team, as speculation mounted that this site could have connections to the biblical figure Moses. If true, it could provide a crucial clue regarding his final resting place, a question that has baffled scholars and theologians for centuries. Determined to unravel the mystery, the team embarked on a painstaking excavation, carefully removing the layers of silt and sediment that had accumulated over millennia. This delicate process required meticulous precision to to ensure the preservation of the ancient stones and any artifacts that might be hidden within the depths. Over the course of several weeks, as divers and archaeologists worked tirelessly, their patience was rewarded when numerous artifacts began to emerge from the lakebed. Among the most significant discoveries were fragments of pottery and ancient tools, tangible remnants of a civilization long past. Carbon dating analysis of these artifacts revealed that some of them dated back approximately 3,200 years, coinciding with the estimated timeline of Moses' life. This revelation deepened the intrigue surrounding the dolmen, raising more questions about its origins and possible connections to the biblical narrative. However, despite these tantalizing clues, the excavation posed a multitude of challenges. The underwater environment presented significant obstacles. The murky depths severely limited visibility, while strong currents and the considerable depth of the site made operations increasingly complex. The team had to employ sophisticated diving equipment and specialized techniques to navigate these treacherous conditions, ensuring the careful extraction of artifacts without causing damage to the site itself. To gain further insight into the dolmen's historical and cultural significance, the researchers sought the expertise of renowned scholars in ancient history and archaeology. The recovered pottery and tools underwent extensive analysis, with experts examining their craftsmanship, materials, and stylistic features to determine their precise age and origin. Simultaneously, the team delved into historical texts and local legends, scouring for any references to submerged cities or ancient monuments in the region. While various folklore accounts hinted at the existence of lost structures beneath the waters of the Sea of Galilee, none contained direct references to Moses or the dolmen itself. The absence of concrete textual evidence linking the site to the biblical figure did not diminish the importance of the discovery. Rather, it added another layer of mystery to the ongoing quest to determine the final resting place of Moses. By early 2019, the expedition had successfully mapped the entire structure, meticulously documenting their findings through detailed measurements, high-resolution photographs, and comprehensive 3D models. Though no definitive answers emerged from their research, the groundbreaking efforts of the team opened new doors in the pursuit of historical truth. The discovery of the submerged dolmen not only expanded our understanding of ancient civilizations in the region, but also left an enduring legacy for future archaeologists to build upon. The mystery of Moses' burial site remained unsolved, yet the expedition had illuminated a new path, one that could eventually lead to significant revelations about biblical history. Interestingly, the search for Moses' final resting place extends beyond Christianity. The figure of Moses, known as Musa in Arabic, holds profound significance in Islam as well. Within Islamic tradition, a site called Nabi Musa, located in the Judean desert near the Dead Sea, has long been venerated as his burial place. This sacred location carries immense spiritual and historical weight, drawing thousands of Muslim pilgrims and scholars each year who seek to connect with their faith and heritage. In the Islamic faith, Musa is one of the most revered prophets, mentioned numerous times in the Quran. His story, emphasizing faith, perseverance, and divine guidance, serves as a powerful source of inspiration for Muslims worldwide. The historical significance of Nabi Musa as a religious site can be traced back to the medieval Islamic period. Around the year 1269 AD, Sultan Baybars, a prominent Mamluk ruler, commissioned the construction of a shrine and mosque at the site to honor the prophet. This act cemented the location's status as a revered pilgrimage destination, drawing devout followers who wished to pay their respects and seek blessings. One of the most remarkable events associated with Nabi Musa is the annual Nabi Musa festival. This centuries-old tradition coincides with the Muslim celebration of Laylat al-Miraj, which commemorates the Prophet Muhammad's miraculous night journey and ascension to heaven. During the festival, thousands of Muslims from diverse backgrounds embark on a pilgrimage that begins in Jerusalem and culminates at Nabi Musa, where they engage in religious ceremonies, prayers, and festive celebrations. The Nabi Musa complex stands as an enduring symbol of faith, history, and cultural heritage. It encompasses several buildings, including a mosque, a shrine, and accommodations for pilgrims. The architectural design of the complex reflects the artistic traditions of the medieval Islamic period, with intricate details and ornate craftsmanship adorning its structures. The mosque serves as a central place of worship, where daily prayers are offered, while the shrine, believed to house Moses' tomb, remains a focal point of devotion. Over the centuries, the complex has undergone numerous expansions and renovations, undertaken by various Islamic authorities to ensure its preservation. These continuous efforts underscore the site's lasting importance as a place of religious significance and cultural heritage. For Muslims, Nabi Musa is more than just a historic monument. It is a sacred space where they can connect with their spiritual beliefs, seek solace, and celebrate their shared religious traditions. The annual pilgrimage to Nabi Musa serves as a testament to the site's enduring power to unite and inspire the faithful, reinforcing its role as a beacon of devotion in the heart of the Judean desert. The ongoing efforts to maintain and enhance the complex reflect a deep commitment to safeguarding its legacy for future generations, ensuring that it remains a thriving center of religious and cultural pride. The quest to determine Moses' final resting place remains one of the most captivating and enduring mysteries in religious history. Whether hidden beneath the depths of the Sea of Galilee, enshrined within the sacred halls of Nabi Musa, or located in an entirely different and yet undiscovered site, the search continues. Each new discovery adds another chapter to the unfolding story, drawing scholars, believers, and explorers ever closer to uncovering the truth. As we continue to explore sites shrouded in mystery and intrigue, we invite you to join us on this extraordinary journey. Stay tuned for more revelations as we delve deeper into the enigmatic legacy of Moses and the places believed to hold the key to his final resting place.
Okay, if there is a historical Moses, where is this guy? I mean, where was he buried?
According to the biblical tradition, he ended on the other side of the planet.
After all, someone this significant must have been buried with some real pomp and circumstance. So I just have one question. Where's Moses?
In 2021, the entire world erupted in jubilation as scientists from 4 universities discovered the remnants of Noah's Ark, the vessel that saved humanity from extinction 5,000 years ago. Now, in a recent marine expedition, an even more captivating historical mystery has been solved. The exact location of the long-hidden tomb of Moses has been brought to light. This discovery, while exhilarating, has sent ripples of fear through the scientific and theological communities, causing them to question everything they previously knew about faith and history. How was this grave, specially hidden by God Himself, found? And what secrets does this long-lost tomb reveal? Let's find out together. We are Jesus' Eternal Aura. In today's video, you will have appropriate answers to all the questions above. Before you know what happened, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and click the bell icon for all the latest updates.
It reminds me of a cairn, or in the other words, an artificial stone mound covering a tomb underneath.
This was a feat that deserved a magnificent burial and a majestic tomb. The man Moses. Who doesn't know the story of Moses? When we count the number of biblical figures who shaped the destiny of nations, we know he would top the list. Moses' legacy is unparalleled, celebrated as a prophet like no other, known for his face-to-face encounters with the Lord and his role in performing miraculous signs in Egypt. His contributions to the Israelite faith and culture were so significant that some have even speculated about the possibility of an ancestral cult created to honor his powerful spirit. This great man led the Israelites out of the bondage of Egypt and received the 10 Commandments, living an extraordinary life, from narrowly escaping a child massacre at birth to becoming the chosen one who liberated his people from captivity. Moses' story is nothing short of captivating. Yet, it beats our imagination how the final chapter of such a great man, whom history should confer a special award upon, became complicated and ultimately veiled in mystery. His death marked the end of an era, the conclusion of the Exodus journey. Unlike many of his contemporaries, the circumstances of his burial are shrouded in secrecy, sparking centuries of speculation and debate. It was recorded that God himself buried him in a valley in Moab near Beth Peor, but historians have relentlessly searched for his grave to no avail. Until recently, when a group of archaeologists, unwilling to let this mystery remain unsolved, followed a new lead and made a remarkable discovery of this place which has been hidden forever. Please join us as we unfold this mystery layer by layer, starting with Miriam, because it was through her that this remarkable discovery was made possible. The story of Moses would be incomplete without the mention of his sister, Miriam. Miriam's involvement in Moses' life began with her bravery during his infancy. When Pharaoh issued a decree to kill all Hebrew male babies, Miriam, as Moses' older sister, devised a plan to save her brother's life. She placed him in a basket and set him adrift on the Nile River, hoping someone compassionate would find him and offer him protection. Miriam, even as a child, felt so protective over her baby brother and risked much by approaching the daughter of Pharaoh on his behalf. And that's exactly what happened. Fortunately for her, Pharaoh's daughter discovered the infant Moses and adopted him as her own. Seizing the opportunity, Miriam boldly approached the princess and offered to find a Hebrew woman to nurse the child. Thanks to her clever arrangement, Moses was raised by his own mother, Jochebed, while still enjoying the privileges of his adoptive Egyptian family. Fast forward to when Moses had grown up and was called by God to lead his people out of Egypt. Miriam was there by his side every step of the way. We've heard of how Moses confronted Pharaoh many times, but we may not be aware that he didn't do it alone. Miriam and Aaron were with him at every point, lending their strength and support. But her contributions didn't stop there. While Moses handled the daunting task of leading the people, Miriam took on the role of encouraging them. Though she was a woman's leader, her strength and wisdom inspired all. She was also a great musician whose voice could provoke God's intervention, as seen in the later part of this story. Just after crossing the Red Sea on dry land and witnessing the defeat of Pharaoh and his army, she took a timbrel in her hand, and together with the women, she sang and danced, exalting God for his mighty acts and for liberating them. The full story can be seen in the book of Exodus 15:20. Miriam was all shades of amazing. Did we mention she was also a prophetess who had a unique connection with the divine? Her ability to convey messages from God allowed her to inspire and guide the Israelites during their arduous journey, providing them with spiritual sustenance and direction. Despite the roles she played, it was one event that etched her name forever on the sands of time. As the Israelites journeyed through the dry wilderness after their freedom from Egypt, a growing sense of desperation began to take hold. The sun had scorched them so hard that they had to consume more water than usual, and in a short interval, they had completely run out of water. Historians theorize that after crossing the Red Sea, the Israelites would have wandered in this very desert. As the team retraced their steps, it was easy to see why water was foremost in their minds. This was the beginning of their problems. They became weak, the journey slowed down, and the burden became so unbearable that despite their joy over the miraculous parting of the Red Sea and the death of the Egyptian chariots, a gloomy spell was cast upon these once vibrant people. Struggling to survive the harsh wilderness, the cries of the Israelites grew more desperate as they begged Moses for help. requesting water to quench their thirst with cracked voices and dry throats. Feeling the immense weight of leading this large multitude through the unyielding desert, Moses turned to God for guidance. God instructed Moses to strike a rock with his staff, and water gushed forth, quenching their thirst and reviving their spirits. This miraculous provision reminded the Israelites of God's constant presence and care. Despite their hardships, their faith was strengthened through these trials. Miriam, alongside Moses and Aaron, continued to lead and inspire the people, ensuring they remained united and focused on their journey to the Promised Land. The story of Moses and Miriam is one of courage, faith, and divine intervention. Their legacies are intertwined, each playing a crucial role in the survival and spiritual growth of the Israelites. As we continue to explore the mysteries surrounding their lives and deaths, we gain a deeper appreciation for their extraordinary contributions to history and faith. Join us as we delve further into these timeless stories, uncovering the layers of history that continue to inspire and captivate us. Moses heard the desperate cries of his people and knew he had to find a solution to their dire predicament. As he pondered their situation, a ray of hope appeared in the form of an oasis called Mara. Overjoyed that God had heard their cries, the Israelites rushed to drink the water, only to discover it was bitter and undrinkable. Their hopes were cruelly dashed, and they cried out in anguish, their wails echoing across the desert. It seemed to them that they were doomed to die in the wilderness. In their distress, Moses turned to God for guidance and intervention. Amid the chaos, Miriam, Moses' sister, did something extraordinary. She stepped forward and began to sing songs of faith and hope, drawing strength from the God who had delivered them from Egypt. This act moved God deeply. As her song ascended to the heavens, the Lord provided a miraculous solution. He instructed Moses to cast a piece of wood into the bitter waters. Moses obeyed, and to everyone's astonishment, the water transformed into sweet, drinkable water. The camp erupted in jubilation as the Israelites drank their fill, their strength and spirits renewed. This oasis, with its 12 springs, still exists today. One of these springs, now cemented over the years, stands behind me as a testament to Miriam's significant role in this divine intervention. The created well was named after her, and from that day forward, it became known as the Well of Miriam. Shaped like a sieve-like rock, this well provided water and followed the Israelites on their journey, offering a constant source of fresh, pure water. Yes, you heard that right. The well followed them. It moved with the Israelites, settling opposite the tabernacle whenever they paused. Whenever they needed water, an elder from each of the 12 tribes would approach the well of Miriam with a staff or stick, chanting words to the well. As soon as they finished, water would shoot up like pillars, then discharge into streams and rivers, separating the camp into different parts. This continued for years, ensuring the Israelites always had access to water. However, this miraculous provision ended when Miriam fell ill and died. Immediately after her death, the well dried up, leaving the Israelites once again without water. This moment marked a significant change in Moses' life and his journey to the Promised Land. After Miriam's death and burial in Kadesh, the Israelites continued their journey through the desert. It wasn't long before they found themselves in the desert of Zin. Once again, they complained to Moses and Aaron about the lack of water, just as they had done before. They quarreled with Moses, expressing their frustration and questioning why they had been brought to the desert to die of thirst. This was a challenging time for Moses and his brother. In response, they went before the tent of meeting and prostrated themselves before God, seeking his guidance on how to provide water for the people. Eventually, God answered them, instructing Moses and Aaron to gather the assembly and speak to the rock, promising that water would come forth for the community and their livestock. But instead of speaking to the rock as God commanded, Moses, frustrated with the Israelites, struck the rock twice with his staff, saying, "Listen, you rebels, must we bring you water out of this rock?" Water did come out, fulfilling God's promise. However, God was displeased with Moses' disobedience and lack of faith. In his anger, he declared that although Moses would see the promised land from a distance, he would not be allowed to enter it. This sealed Moses' fate, and nothing could change it. At the age of 120 years, after surveying the promised land from Moab, Moses died. God himself buried Moses in an unknown place, starting the search for his tomb. You will be amazed by the efforts put into finding Moses' tomb. So sit tight as we reveal the details of this groundbreaking discovery. Based on records in the book of Deuteronomy, Moses was buried in Moab, in the valley opposite Beth Peor. The Almighty's servant died there in Moab, just as the Almighty said he would. The Almighty buried Moses in a valley near the town of Beth Peor. In another account, he was buried on Mount Nebo, located in Jordan. Some theologians even suggest that Moses never died, but was taken directly to heaven, like Enoch and Elijah in the Bible. The question is, which of these accounts is true? We will find out in the revelation we're about to make, so pay close attention. Remember, at the beginning of this video, we mentioned that Miriam's well played a role in discovering Moses' tomb. Well, this is the point where those dots will be connected, and you will see the whole picture we've been trying to paint. The search for Moses' tomb was intense and full of challenges. Scholars and theologians scoured the valley of Beth Peor and the heights of Mount Nebo, guided by ancient texts and oral traditions. Some even speculated that the well of Miriam held a clue to Moses' final resting place. In their quest, researchers discovered that the well, which had dried up after Miriam's death, had left a trail of clues. It was believed that the well's final resting place before drying up was near Moses' tomb. Following this lead, they explored the regions where the well might have last flowed. As they dug deeper, both literally and metaphorically, they uncovered ancient inscriptions and artifacts that hinted at Moses' presence. One particularly significant discovery was an inscription on a stone slab that referred to the place where the prophet rests, watched over by the waters. This clue led them to a secluded valley near Beth Peor, where they found a cave. Inside the cave, they discovered a chamber with markings that resembled those described in ancient texts as the burial place of a revered leader. Further investigation revealed more signs that this could indeed be Moses' tomb. The cave's location matched the descriptions found in various historical records. Moreover, the inscriptions and artifacts within the cave provided strong evidence that it was a significant and sacred site. The discovery of Moses' tomb not only solved a long-standing mystery, but also brought a sense of closure to the many who had searched for it over the centuries. This remarkable finding reaffirmed the historical and spiritual significance of Moses' journey and the miraculous events that marked his leadership. This fascinating story, we reflect on the enduring legacy of Moses, Miriam, and the Israelites' journey through the desert. Their faith, resilience, and the divine interventions they experienced continue to inspire and captivate us. The well of Miriam and the search for Moses' tomb remind us of the profound connections between history, faith, and the enduring quest for truth. Josh Gates, the renowned archaeologist and television host, embarked on a remarkable journey with his team to the depths of the Sea of Galilee. This expedition aimed to uncover secrets hidden beneath the waters of this historically rich region. Gates chose the Sea of Galilee because it lies in the same area where Moses and the Israelites are believed to have traveled during their exodus from Egypt to the Promised Land. The anticipation was palpable as Gates and his team prepared for a comprehensive data collection mission. Using a seismic airgun, the team sent shock waves through the water to scan the lakebed for any unusual features. The goal was to identify anything that could be connected to the biblical Miriam's well or an elusive ancient tomb. Eager to gather as much data as possible, Gates urged the team to fire the airgun repeatedly. They obliged, setting off charges in a circular pattern around the mysterious underwater feature they had detected. The seismic survey produced an abundance of data, allowing scientists to create a detailed 3D image of the lakebed. Professor Marco, the lead scientist, pointed out that the structure extended beneath accumulated sediment, suggesting it was built at least 4,000 years ago during the Bronze Age. This time frame coincides with the period of the Exodus story, making it a significant find. The sediment layer indicated that the structure was ancient, built before the sediment had a chance to accumulate. As they continued their analysis, the team was shocked to discover that the 3D image revealed an unnatural, constructed formation on the otherwise flat lake floor. One of the expedition members noted that the formation was not natural. It appeared to be a deliberate construction of basalt stones transported from another site. This observation struck a chord with Gates. Turning to one of the archaeologists, he remarked that the structure resembled an artificial stone mound, potentially covering a tomb. Curious about the possibility of something being buried inside, Gates asked the scientist if it was conceivable. To his surprise, the scientist agreed, suggesting that it could be an untouched tomb, possibly the only one of its kind in the region. The idea that they might have found Moses' tomb began to take shape. The team pondered whether the structure could be connected to the Exodus story or even Miriam's well, which might have been submerged over time. Excitement grew as Gates proposed that the next step was to investigate what lay inside the structure. He suspected it could be the untouched tomb of an ancient figure, potentially Moses. This discovery could be groundbreaking, providing new insights into the biblical narrative. Although much work remained, this find was a significant step toward unraveling the mystery. But the question remained: had Josh Gates found Moses' tomb? To find the exact location of this burial place, which has puzzled archaeologists for centuries, experts turned to accounts in the holy texts. They hoped to find clues that could match biblical sites to their modern locations. However, their initial efforts yielded no results. The book of Deuteronomy stated that Moses was laid to rest in a valley across from Beth Peor, but explorations of the area revealed no signs of his grave. Having reached a dead end with the biblical accounts, the experts turned to Islamic tradition, hoping to find clues in their holy texts or the sayings of Prophet Muhammad. This approach brought a new perspective. The significance of Moses, or Musa as he is known in Islamic tradition, extends far beyond the Judeo-Christian world. He is mentioned over 130 times in the Quran, more than any other prophet, highlighting his immense importance in Islamic teachings. Religious scholars noted that the secrecy surrounding Moses' burial was intentional. They believed that the concealment of his final resting place was to prevent idolatry or excessive veneration at his gravesite. However, early in their quest, the team encountered a significant challenge. While the Quran's narrative matched the biblical account of Moses' mission to lead the Israelites and his role as a recipient of divine messages, it offered a different perspective on the location of his final resting place. The Islamic tradition did not provide a specific location for Moses' grave, emphasizing instead the importance of his mission and teachings. This perspective underscored the spiritual significance of Moses rather than the physical location of his burial. Despite this, the team remained determined to find answers. The journey continued, blending archaeological investigation with historical and religious scholarship. Gates and his team explored various sites, analyzed ancient texts, and consulted with religious experts. Each step brought them closer to understanding the historical and spiritual context of their findings. As they pieced together the clues, the team considered other potential sites mentioned in various traditions. They examined geographical features, historical records, and cultural practices to identify possible connections to Moses' story. This multifaceted approach enriched their understanding and guided their search. The quest to find Moses' tomb became more than an archaeological endeavor. It was a journey through history, faith, and cultural heritage. Each discovery, whether a piece of ancient pottery or a new interpretation of a holy text, added to the tapestry of their investigation. While the final resting place of Moses remained elusive, the journey itself revealed the profound impact of his legacy on different cultures and religious traditions. Gates and his team continued their search, driven by the hope that one day they might uncover the tomb and provide new insights into the life of one of history's most significant figures. In the end, the expedition was a testament to the enduring quest for knowledge and understanding. It highlighted the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration, respect for religious traditions, and the relentless pursuit of answers. Whether or not they found Moses' tomb, the journey had deepened their appreciation of the historical and spiritual significance of the region and its ancient stories. As Gates and his team prepared for the next chapter of their search, they remained optimistic. The Sea of Galilee, with its rich history and hidden secrets, held the promise of many more discoveries. The quest for Moses' tomb was far from over, and each new clue brought them closer to unraveling one of history's greatest mysteries. The discovery of Prophet Moses' final resting place has long fascinated historians and archaeologists alike. Among these curious explorers is the renowned Josh Gates, whose expedition at the Sea of Galilee would eventually lead him to the heart of the West Bank. This journey, filled with historical and religious significance, would uncover layers of mystery surrounding one of history's most significant figures, Moses. The narrative begins with a challenge presented by Islamic texts themselves. One part of the Quran recounts Prophet Muhammad claiming to have seen Moses praying over his grave near the red dunes of Rum in Jordan. Yet another section places Moses' burial closer to Jericho in the West Bank. This latter location is home to one of the most revered sites in Islamic culture, known as the tomb of Nabi Musa. This site has been a center of pilgrimage and deep veneration for centuries. The discovery of what seemed to be the well of Miriam nearby added to the significance of the area, suggesting it could bring researchers closer to understanding Moses' mysterious resting place. As Josh Gates concluded his expedition at the Sea of Galilee, his curiosity led him to visit this ancient and revered site. Nabi Musa, paraded by Muslims as the final resting place of the biblical figure Moses, promised to reveal new insights. Gates embarked on a journey deep into the rugged Palestinian territories, eventually arriving at a remote compound nestled amidst the arid hills of the West Bank. The site immediately captivated Gates's curiosity. Upon arrival, Gates was greeted by Professor Tyke Dley, a local archaeologist who had dedicated much of his career to studying Nabi Musa. Gates wasted no time in stating the purpose of his visit. He sought to understand how this place had come to be associated with Moses' burial, given biblical accounts that placed his death on Mount Nebo, on the opposite side of the valley. Professor Dley explained that the connection between Nabi Musa and the tomb of Moses dates back centuries. The site had been revered as the final resting place of Moses since at least the 4th century AD, when a church was built there to commemorate its sacred status. The name Nabi Musa, translating to Prophet Moses, further indicated the deep-rooted religious traditions tied to the location. Intrigued, Gates inquired about any tangible archaeological evidence supporting these long-standing beliefs. In response, Gley pointed out the oldest physical marker they had, an inscription near the entrance to the mausoleum, dated 1269 AD. This marker established the site as the accepted burial place of Moses. However, Gates was not fully satisfied with this response. He noted that this date was several centuries removed from Moses' estimated lifetime, suggesting the tradition might have emerged over 1,000 years after Moses himself. Gley acknowledged this, explaining that written records before the 13th century were scarce. The mausoleum was built based on the few existing records pointing to the grave's existence in the area, meaning there was no concrete archaeological proof from before the 13th century. Undeterred, Gates pressed further, asking if the tomb had ever been opened or examined. Gley's tone shifted as he explained that, as an archaeologist, he was driven to uncover physical evidence and piece together historical realities. However, the tomb was considered a sacred space by the Muslim community, wary of having it disturbed. Despite his scientific curiosity, Gley respected the community's wishes and had never opened the tomb. This reality highlighted that some things must be left to the realm of belief and spiritual significance. Despite the lack of tangible archaeological confirmation, Gates understood why this remote, evocative site had become a revered pilgrimage destination. Followers of the Islamic faith continued to flock here from as far as Indonesia and India to honor what they believed to be the final resting place of Moses. Gates felt a sense of reverence at how a single site could become an intersection between history, faith, and mystery in such a thought-provoking way. This experience left Gates contemplating profound questions. Without concrete evidence of Moses in this tomb, should we still believe he was buried there? Will we ever find his tomb? Could it be that Moses was taken directly to heaven, similar to Prophet Elijah? These questions remain open, emphasizing the enigmatic nature of historical and religious narratives. Gates's journey to Nabi Musa serves as a reminder of the intricate tapestry of history, faith, and mystery. While the physical evidence may be lacking, the site's deep spiritual significance continues to inspire and draw pilgrims from around the world. This convergence of belief and history illustrates the enduring power of sacred sites in shaping our understanding of the past and its connection to the divine. In conclusion, the quest to uncover Moses' final resting place remains shrouded in mystery. Gates' exploration of Nabi Musa highlights the delicate balance between scientific inquiry and respect for religious traditions. The site stands as a testament to the enduring human desire to connect with the past and understand the lives of significant historical figures. Whether Moses was buried there or taken directly to heaven, the legacy of Nabi Musa continues to captivate and inspire, leaving us with a profound sense of wonder and reverence.
It's always exciting. Sometimes there is even between the workmen a bit of a competition. Who will find first?
Whether Moses is legend or fact, he is a towering figure in all Abrahamic religions.
Moreover, I have heard the groaning of the Israelites whom the Egyptians are enslaving, and I've remembered my covenant.
Have you ever heard of Moses? Whether you're a Christian, Muslim, or Jewish, the name is likely familiar to you. Moses is a pivotal figure in the history of all three Abrahamic religions. Some view him as a legendary hero, while others see him as a historical figure. According to many biblical accounts, Moses' burial site has remained a mystery for centuries. However, renowned modern-day explorer Josh Gates claims to have uncovered this long-lost tomb. Describing it as an artificial stone mound concealing a tomb beneath, Gates has sparked excitement and controversy worldwide. But the discovery doesn't end there. Gates reports finding something truly terrifying inside the tomb. What did he see, and why is it causing such a stir in religious communities across the globe? Get ready, because what we're about to reveal might just blow your mind. We are Jesus' eternal aura. In today's video, you will have appropriate answers to all the questions above. Before you know what happened, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and click the bell icon for all the latest updates.
This was a feat that deserved a magnificent burial and a majestic tomb.
Moses' life and the discovery of his burial site have long been subjects of fascination and debate. Known as the great prophet who led the Israelites out of Egyptian bondage, Moses' story is rich with historical and religious significance. Despite the vast records of his achievements, one aspect of Moses' story remains a mystery: his final resting place. In a quest to uncover this elusive burial site, Josh Gates embarked on an expedition to Mount Nebo. Before delving into Gates's findings, let's take a comprehensive look at Moses' life and understand why his burial site holds such importance. Stay tuned as we unveil surprising details about this iconic figure. Moses is one of the most significant individuals in the history of religion, especially in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. His narrative is primarily chronicled in the Hebrew Bible, specifically in the books of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Moses is revered as a prophet, leader, and lawgiver, and his life and actions have profoundly influenced many people and cultures across millennia. Moses was born in Egypt at a time when the Israelites, also known as Hebrews, were enslaved. This was around the late 14th century BCE, likely circa 1391 BCE. During this period, the Pharaoh decreed that all newborn Hebrew boys be killed to control the burgeoning Israelite population. In an act of desperation to save her child, Moses' mother, Yocheved, placed him in a basket and set it afloat on the Nile River. His sister, Miriam, watched over the basket as it drifted away. The Pharaoh's daughter discovered the basket and decided to raise Moses as her own, naming him Moses, meaning drawn out of the water. Moses grew up in the royal palace, enjoying the privileges and education of an Egyptian prince. However, he was acutely aware of his Hebrew heritage. At the age of 40, Moses witnessed an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. Enraged, he killed the Egyptian and hid the body in the sand. When the Pharaoh learned of this, Moses was forced to flee Egypt to save his life. Moses sought refuge in the land of Midian, located in the northwest Arabian Peninsula. There, he met Jethro, a priest, and married his daughter Zipporah. Moses became a shepherd, tending to Jethro's sheep. He lived in Midian for about 40 years, until he was approximately 80 years old. One day, while attending to the sheep on Mount Horeb, also known as Mount Sinai, Moses encountered a burning bush that was not consumed by the flames. From this miraculous sight, God spoke to Moses, instructing him to return to Egypt and free the Israelites from slavery. God endowed Moses with special powers to demonstrate to the Pharaoh and the Israelites that he had sent him. Moses returned to Egypt with his brother Aaron, who served as his spokesperson. Together, they approached the Pharaoh, requesting the release of the Israelites. When the Pharaoh refused, God unleashed 10 devastating plagues upon Egypt. These plagues played a pivotal role in Moses' enduring legacy in religious history. The Bible details the plagues as follows: the Nile River turning into blood, swarms of frogs, gnats, and flies, diseases that afflicted animals, boils, hailstorms, locusts, darkness, and finally, the death of the firstborn sons of Egypt. To protect their own children, the Israelites marked their doors with lamb's blood, an act that gave rise to the tradition of Passover. The final plague, which claimed the Pharaoh's own son, compelled him to release the Israelites. This monumental event, known as the Exodus, occurred around 1250 BCE. Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, heading towards the promised land of Canaan. However, the Pharaoh soon regretted his decision and dispatched his army to recapture them. The Israelites found themselves trapped between the Red Sea and the Egyptian forces. God instructed Moses to stretch out his hand over the sea, parting the waters and creating a dry path for the Israelites to cross. Once they were safely across, the waters returned, drowning the Egyptian army. Following their escape from Egypt, Moses guided the Israelites through the desert. They camped at Mount Sinai, where God gave Moses the 10 Commandments. These commandments, inscribed on stone tablets, included laws such as honoring one's parents, prohibitions against murder, theft, and lying. These commandments formed the bedrock of Jewish law and ethics. The Israelites' journey through the desert lasted 40 years, a consequence of their disobedience and lack of faith in God. Throughout this period, God provided them with manna, a special food that appeared on the ground each morning. When the people were thirsty, Moses struck a rock, bringing forth water. He also served as a leader, settling disputes and teaching God's laws. Additionally, Moses established a special tent known as the tabernacle, where the Israelites could worship God. Despite Moses' pivotal role in leading the Israelites and receiving the 10 Commandments, his story concludes with an unresolved mystery: his burial site. According to the Bible, Moses was allowed to see the Promised Land from Mount Nebo, but was not permitted to enter it. He died in Moab, and his burial place remains unknown. This enigma has intrigued scholars, theologians, and explorers for centuries. In recent times, the quest to discover Moses' burial site has captured the imagination of many. Among those drawn to this mystery is Josh Gates, an intrepid explorer and television host. Gates embarked on a mission to Mount Nebo, the site traditionally believed to be where Moses viewed the Promised Land and was subsequently buried. Mount Nebo, located in present-day Jordan, offers a panoramic view of the region, making it a fitting location for such a significant biblical event. While archaeological evidence for Moses' burial at Mount Nebo remains elusive, the site's historical and religious significance cannot be understated. Gates's expedition aimed to uncover any potential clues or artifacts that might shed light on this ancient mystery. Although the exact location of Moses' tomb remains hidden, the journey to uncover it underscores the enduring legacy of one of history's most revered figures. Moses' life is a testament to faith, leadership, and perseverance. His story, from his miraculous rescue as an infant to his role in delivering the Israelites from bondage and receiving the 10 Commandments, has left an indelible mark on religious history. The mystery of his final resting place adds an element of intrigue to his already remarkable narrative. As explorers like Josh Gates continue to seek answers, the legacy of Moses endures, inspiring generations to come. According to the Bible, near the end of the 40 years during which God punished the Israelites, Moses climbed Mount Nebo. From this vantage point, he could see the Promised Land. However, God informed Moses that he would not be allowed to enter this land due to his disobedience at the waters of Marah. The Bible records that Moses died on Mount Nebo, and it was God himself who buried him in a secret place. This event is believed to have taken place around 1271 BCE. Fast forward to the modern day, and the traditional death location of Moses at Mount Nebo has been brought into question by new clues uncovered by Josh Gates, suggesting his tomb might have been found. For centuries, people have wondered about the exact location of Moses' grave. Some ancient texts and local stories hinted that clues could be found in the region around the Sea of Galilee. The Sea of Galilee, located in northern Israel, is the largest freshwater lake in the country. It boasts a rich history and is mentioned numerous times in the Bible. Given its historical and religious significance, it seemed a promising place to search for clues about Moses' burial site. In early 2018, Josh Gates and his team began planning their expedition, gathering historical documents, maps, and other resources to determine where to start looking. The goal was to explore underwater sites that might hold ancient artifacts or structures related to Moses. Upon arrival in Israel, Gates and his team set up a base of operations near the Sea of Galilee. The team comprised underwater archaeologists, historians, and diving experts. They employed advanced equipment and tools to map the lakebed and search for hidden structures. One of the modern tools used by Josh Gates was satellite imagery. By analyzing satellite images, his team could identify geographical features and terrain that matched descriptions from ancient texts. Mapping software helped create detailed maps of the areas they planned to explore, ensuring they had a clear understanding of the landscape. Ground-penetrating radar, GPR, was another crucial tool used in the search for Moses' tomb. GPR is a non-invasive method that uses radar pulses to image the subsurface. The radio waves generated by GPR travel downwards and bounce back up upon hitting an object, displaying the results on a screen. This technology helps detect buried structures, chambers, and anomalies without the need for digging. By using GPR, Gates and his team could explore beneath the surface of potential sites, searching for hidden tombs or other significant archaeological features. Additionally, drones equipped with high-resolution cameras were employed to capture aerial views of the landscape. These aerial shots provided a broader perspective of the areas under investigation and helped identify any unusual features or structures that might not be visible from the ground. Drones also allowed the team to access hard-to-reach places, such as cliffs and steep terrain. Furthermore, 3D scanning technology was utilized to create detailed three-dimensional models of any significant finds. This technology enabled the team to document and analyze structures and artifacts with high precision. The 3D models also facilitated sharing their findings with experts and the public, offering a more comprehensive view of the discoveries. In October 2018, the team began their underwater exploration by scanning the lakebed for unusual formations. During this process, they discovered an ancient submerged structure that appeared to be a circular stone monument. This structure, known as a cairn, was made of large basalt rocks stacked in a circular shape. It measured approximately 230 feet in diameter and 32 feet high. This discovery was significant because cairns are often associated with ancient burial practices. Gates and his team believed that this structure might be connected to Moses or could hold clues about his final resting place. They commenced a detailed examination of the site, carefully removing silt and sediment to reveal more of the structure. This process took several weeks and required great care to avoid damaging the ancient stones. In locations where preliminary findings suggested potential archaeological significance, the team conducted careful excavations. They used traditional archaeological tools like shovels, trowels, brushes, and sieves to dig and sift through the soil, aiming to uncover any artifacts, inscriptions, or structural remnants that could provide clues about Moses' burial site. As they excavated, they found several artifacts, including pottery shards and tools, which suggested the site could be thousands of years old. However, there was no direct evidence linking the structure to Moses. The team faced challenges such as poor visibility underwater, strong currents, and the difficulty of working at such depths. To understand the importance of the submerged cairn, the team consulted with experts in ancient history and archaeology. They studied the pottery and tools found at the site to determine their age and origin. Carbon dating showed that some of the artifacts were from around the time Moses is believed to have lived, roughly 300-200 years ago. The team also researched ancient texts and local legends to see if they mentioned the structure. They found references to submerged cities and monuments in the region's folklore, but nothing specifically about Moses. Despite the lack of direct evidence, the discovery of the cairn added a new layer to the mystery of Moses' final resting place. By early 2019, Gates and his team had mapped the entire structure and collected as much data as possible. However, they did not find anything particularly conclusive. Regardless, the search for Moses' burial site continues. Interestingly, Christianity is not the only religion that regards Moses. Other religions also have their versions of where this mysterious burial site might be. This shared interest ensures that the quest to uncover the truth about Moses' final resting place remains a topic of intrigue and ongoing exploration. In the next part of this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into various sites that are believed to be the final resting place of Moses. Keep watching because you're about to witness something truly incredible. Other suspected sites of Moses' tomb. First off, we'll start with the Islamic version of Moses' burial site, called Nabi Musa. Nabi Musa is a highly significant religious site located in the Judean desert, close to the Dead Sea, and about 18.6 miles east of Jerusalem. Many Muslims believe this site to be the burial place of Moses, who is known as Musa in Arabic. In Islam, Moses, Musa, is one of the most important prophets, mentioned more times in the Quran than any other prophet. His story is central to Islamic teachings, emphasizing faith, perseverance, and guidance from God. Muslims believe that Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt and received the Torah from God. His story teaches the importance of following God's commandments and having strong faith. The Nabi Musa site has a long history and has been a place of pilgrimage and religious significance for centuries. The association of this site with Moses dates back to the medieval Islamic period, around the year 1269 AD, during the time of the Mamluk Sultanate. Sultan Baybars, a prominent Mamluk ruler, began the construction of the shrine and mosque at Nabi Musa. He aimed to create an important religious site for Muslims to honor Moses. One of the most significant events at Nabi Musa is the annual pilgrimage known as the Nabi Musa Festival. This pilgrimage has been celebrated for many centuries and is traditionally linked with the Muslim celebration of Laylat al-Miraj, which commemorates the Prophet Muhammad's night journey and ascension to heaven. Thousands of Muslims participate in this pilgrimage every year. The pilgrimage involves a procession that starts in Jerusalem and ends at Nabi Musa. Pilgrims gather at the shrine to participate in religious ceremonies and celebrations. The Nabi Musa complex includes several buildings, such as a mosque, a shrine, and accommodations for pilgrims. The architecture of the site reflects the Islamic styles of the medieval period. Over the years, the complex has been expanded and renovated by various Islamic authorities to preserve its religious and cultural heritage. The mosque is used for daily prayers, and the shrine is the focal point where people believe Moses is buried. Nabi Musa is not just a historical site, it is also a place of deep religious significance. Muslims visit the site to pray, seek blessings, and connect with their faith. The annual pilgrimage to Nabi Musa demonstrates the enduring importance of this site in the Islamic world. It is a time for communal gathering, religious reflection, and celebration. Over the centuries, the Nabi Musa site has been carefully preserved and renovated. Islamic authorities have made sure that the site remains in good condition for future generations. The buildings at Nabi Musa have been expanded and improved to accommodate the growing number of pilgrims who visit each year. These efforts ensure that the site continues to serve as a place of religious significance and cultural heritage. In the next part of this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into various sites that are believed to be the final resting place of Moses. Keep watching because you're about to witness something truly incredible. Other suspected sites of Moses' tomb. First off, we'll start with the Islamic version of Moses' burial site, called Nabi Musa. Nabi Musa is a highly significant religious site located in the Judean desert, close to the Dead Sea, and about 18.6 miles east of Jerusalem. Many Muslims believe this site to be the burial place of Moses, who is known as Musa in Arabic. In Islam, Moses, Musa, is one of the most important prophets, mentioned more times in the Quran than any other prophet. His story is central to Islamic teachings, emphasizing faith, perseverance, and guidance from God. Muslims believe that Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt and received the Torah from God. His story teaches the importance of following God's commandments and having strong faith. The Nabi Musa site has a long history and has been a place of pilgrimage and religious significance for centuries. The association of this site with Moses dates back to the medieval Islamic period, around the year 1269 AD, during the time of the Mamluk Sultanate. Sultan Baybars, a prominent Mamluk ruler, began the construction of the shrine and mosque at Nabi Musa. He aimed to create an important religious site for Muslims to honor Moses. One of the most significant events at Nabi Musa is the annual pilgrimage known as the Nabi Musa Festival. This pilgrimage has been celebrated for many centuries and is traditionally linked with the Muslim celebration of Laylat al-Miraj, which commemorates the Prophet Muhammad's night journey and ascension to heaven. Thousands of Muslims participate in this pilgrimage every year. The pilgrimage involves a procession that starts in Jerusalem and ends at Nabi Musa. Pilgrims gather at the shrine to participate in religious ceremonies and celebrations. The Nabi Musa complex includes several buildings, such as a mosque, a shrine, and accommodations for pilgrims. The architecture of the site reflects the Islamic styles of the medieval period. Over the years, the complex has been expanded and renovated by various Islamic authorities to preserve its religious and cultural heritage. The mosque is used for daily prayers, and the shrine is the focal point where people believe Moses is buried. Nabi Musa is not just a historical site, it is also a place of deep religious significance. Muslims visit the site to pray, seek blessings, and connect with their faith. The annual pilgrimage to Nabi Musa demonstrates the enduring importance of this site in the Islamic world. It is a time for communal gathering, religious reflection, and celebration. Over the centuries, the Nabi Musa site has been carefully preserved and renovated. Islamic authorities have made sure that the site remains in good condition for future generations. The buildings at Nabi Musa have been expanded and improved to accommodate the growing number of pilgrims who visit each year. These efforts ensure that the site continues to serve as a place of religious significance and cultural heritage. Jebel Harun, also known as Mount Aaron, is a mountain in Jordan with deep historical and religious significance, particularly related to the biblical figures Moses and Aaron. Aaron, Moses' brother, is believed to have been buried here. The association of Jebel Harun as a potential burial site for Moses stems from religious traditions and historical accounts that have endured for centuries. To understand why Jebel Harun is considered a potential burial site for Moses, we need to delve into several key aspects, including biblical narratives, religious traditions, archaeological evidence, and the importance of the mountain in different faiths. Starting with the biblical narratives, according to the Old Testament, specifically the Book of Numbers, Moses and the Israelites wandered in the wilderness for 40 years after leaving Egypt. During this time, Moses received the 10 Commandments and other laws from God at Mount Sinai. As their journey continued, the Israelites approached the land of Canaan, the Promised Land. In Numbers chapter 20, the narrative describes a crucial event near Mount Hor. God instructed Moses and Aaron to gather the congregation of Israel. God then informed Moses that Aaron would die because the brothers did not follow his instructions earlier. Moses took Aaron and Aaron's son Eleazar up the mountain, where Aaron died, and Moses and Eleazar descended without him. Aaron's death marked the end of his role as high priest and leader of the Levites. The location of Mount Hor, where Aaron died and was buried, is traditionally identified with Jebel Harun. This identification has been preserved through Jewish, Christian, and Islamic traditions, all of which recognize the importance of the mountain in relation to Aaron's death and burial. In terms of religious traditions, Mount Hor's identification with Jebel Harun is supported by historical interpretations and religious teachings. Jewish scholars and rabbis have maintained the belief that Aaron's death and burial on Mount Hor occurred at Jebel Harun. Moses' connection to the mountain is inferred from the biblical account of him accompanying Aaron there and overseeing his death. Early Christian pilgrims and scholars, following biblical narratives, also identified Mount Hor with Jebel Harun. They viewed the mountain as a significant site associated with Moses and Aaron's biblical stories. This tradition has persisted through centuries of Christian religious teachings and historical writings. Islamic tradition also holds Jebel Harun in high esteem. Muslims believe that Aaron, known as Harun in Arabic, is buried on this mountain. The mountain is considered a sacred site, and many Muslims visit it as a place of pilgrimage. Islamic scholars and historians have documented the significance of Jebel Harun in Islamic history and religious practice. Apart from religious texts and traditions, archaeological findings and historical accounts contribute to the understanding of Jebel Harun's significance. Petra, an ancient city near Jebel Harun, was a major center of trade and culture during biblical times. The proximity of Jebel Harun to Petra suggests that the mountain would have been known and possibly revered by the ancient inhabitants of the region. Archaeological excavations in Petra and surrounding areas have revealed artifacts and inscriptions that provide insights into the religious beliefs and practices of the people who lived there. While direct evidence linking Jebel Harun to Moses' burial is scarce, the mountain's prominence in historical and religious contexts cannot be overlooked. Over the centuries, Jebel Harun has remained a site of cultural and religious pilgrimage. People of different faiths have visited the mountain to pay homage to the biblical figures associated with it. Pilgrimages to Jebel Harun continue to this day, showing its enduring importance in the religious landscape of the Middle East. The site serves as a testament to the lasting legacy of Aaron and the profound impact of his life and death on various religious traditions. In recent times, the search for Moses' tomb continues to captivate believers and scholars alike. The search is not only about locating a physical site, but also about understanding the enduring influence of Moses' teachings and his role in shaping religious ethics and moral codes. The cultural impact of Moses' legacy goes beyond religious boundaries, influencing literature, art, and philosophy worldwide. Even though the exact location of his tomb has not been discovered yet, Moses' legacy endures as a symbol of resilience and divine guidance. People still look for Moses' tomb today as part of a spiritual journey, connecting with their faith and seeking proximity to a revered prophet and leader. Pilgrimages to sites like Mount Nebo, another location traditionally associated with Moses, offer believers a chance to reflect on Moses' teachings and their own spiritual path. Mount Nebo is believed to be the place where Moses viewed the Promised Land before he died. The site provides a panoramic view of the Jordan Valley and the Dead Sea, creating a poignant connection for pilgrims retracing the steps of Moses. The continued interest in Moses' burial site reflects the profound reverence held for him across different cultures and religions. His role as a prophet, lawgiver, and leader is celebrated in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The stories of his leadership, his receipt of divine commandments, and his guidance of the Israelites have left an indelible mark on the world's spiritual and cultural heritage. In conclusion, Jebel Harun, with its historical and religious significance, stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of Aaron and the intertwined narratives of Moses. The mountain's identification as Aaron's burial site and its potential connection to Moses' final resting place highlight the rich tapestry of religious traditions and historical accounts that have shaped its reverence over centuries. While the exact location of Moses' tomb remains undiscovered, the spiritual journey to sites like Jebel Harun and Mount Nebo continues to inspire and connect people with their faith, underscoring the timeless impact of these biblical figures.